May I once again request you all to please kindly take your seats. I would now like to invite our esteemed speakers of the Summit's Valedictory session on stage. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sudipto Saha, Head Financial Inclusion Access Development Services, and Ms. Smita Premchanda, Secretary Sampark. May I request them both to please join us on stage. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time now. It is our privilege to welcome our esteemed chief guest, Mr. J.S. Rawat, Deputy Managing Director, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, to please kindly join us and grace the stage. May I request for a round of applause, please, to welcome him. A very warm welcome to you, sir. We have just heard him address and take an entire session, and we are very thankful to you, sir, for gracing the occasion here today. Your presence indeed promises all of us and of course encourages us all to perform much better in the future and set higher standards for everyone here in this room. So first and foremost, may I request Ms. Smita Premchanda, Secretary Sampark, to kindly present the summary of proceedings across the 2 days of the Global Inclusive Finance Summit. And please put your hands together and give a rousing welcome.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure. I have big thank you to give to the Access team. I've been coming to the conference for 22 years now, as long as the conference is running, and it is a huge privilege to do the summary. I, like I did last year, will start with a Hindi poem. I've made some small changes to it. And for those of you, are there people who don't understand Hindi in the audience? Yeah? So for you, I have a translation that should go up on the slide. Can we put up the PPT? Yeah, okay. So those who don't understand Hindi, please read this. But it's about how we listen in conferences. And it goes like this in Hindi. Chalo baithe. चलो बैठें एक दीपक की लौ के तले और देखें अंधेरे से उजाले को, जैसे देखते हैं लोग नेपथ्य से मंच को, और सुने मंच पर बयान मौशरे का हाल, और उस बयान पर गौर करें कि हमारे तजुर्बों से मिलता है या नहीं, क्योंकि जब हमारे तजुर्बों को कोई ज़बान मिल जाती है तो कहीं ना कहीं हमारा इल्म मुकम्मल हो जाता है और हमारी इल्मियत मुकम्मल हो जाती है. So basically to say, you know, we've been hearing each other. Thank you. We've been hearing each other's voices, and whenever the session finishes, we just crowd around people who have voiced what we have faced on our own, right? And that's the beauty of the conference. I just will take you very quickly. Can we go to the next? Yeah. To actually, this session, I always feel the last 20 minutes, is summarizing the unsummarizable. So I'm not going to attempt doing a point-to-point summary, But we've had 25 sessions, we've had 85 plus speakers and very wide-ranging topics. Starting from inclusive finance, enterprise, credit, insurance, livelihoods, digital advances, very big emphasis given to digital advances in this year. And we've again covered a very wide range of institutions, institutional types. Okay. There was in this conference, so this has been my constant criticism of other conferences, that gender and women's issues come sometimes by on the side and sometimes in parallel sessions and so on. But this particular year, we have had gender and social inclusion mainstreamed right through. And we have had discussions only on women's issues, only on how to empower women through finance, and we have had women's issues mainstreamed on other topics like, on all topics like credit or insurance or enterprise and collectives and so on. So this has been a really important part of this year's conference, and also very good attention to the marginalized people. So whether they were landless or scheduled caste or so, we've had a very good focus on them. And we've also talked, especially in a separate sessions, on collectives and so on. Okay. We pay a lot of attention to language. And the number of times some of these terms crop up also tells us what the dominant narratives are, right? So inclusion, discipline, growth, technology, tech with touch, trust, sustainability have all come up very strongly. Yeah. And the challenges that were mentioned, there were many, many, many. It was interesting that the MFI sector is actually going through quite a difficult time when it comes to high NPAs, but this did not make it very majorly to the dominant narrative this time. In one or two sessions it was talked about, but by and large, it was not really the main focus of most of the MFIs that came here. Instead, there were issues about scale outpacing borrower capacity, or digitization, worried about digitization weakening the human connect, which is where touch with tech became like a slogan this time. And yeah, so, and on women, I will go to the second last one. With women, this was a very nice phrase that was brought up in one of the sessions: marriage, money, mobility, maternity, right? Patriarchal systems that we have form a very important constraint for women, either taking credit or insurance or starting enterprises or becoming economically empowered. So that addressing social challenges is an extremely important part, right? And then again, in almost every session, the question of financial inclusion without financial capability being increased. So everywhere was emphasis on financial literacy, on teaching through tech, on using tech for passing messages and making people more aware, customers of all kinds of financial products and services. This was very important. And then beyond the current effort, people talked about platforms for matching demand and supply of credit. This came up on the first day, first half. There were a lot of discussions on social protection and reaching the unreached and how we serve the extreme poor. And we heard suggestions for how you organize the welfare stack. So have a symphony of schemes rather than 2,000 schemes or something. Have streamlined and have more coordinated schemes that people can reach. And technological advances, finance better aligned to the needs of people. Blended finance, because public-private partnership was considered extremely important to reach the unreached groups, ensuring the uninsured, ensuring the uninsurable, and pooling finances for that. And then, of course, addressing social structures and empowerment requiring voice and collectives of people. And there was a completely independent session on collectives and SHGs and federations, which was great. So I may not have captured everything, but these were some of the major things that came up. Yeah, okay. So as we part, and I will share another Hindi poem with you, is, you know, kabhi kabhi यकायक ऐसा हो जाता है समय रुक जाता है 2 days we haven't seen our mobiles, we haven't, or maybe we have seen our mobiles, some of us have, but basically time has stopped. We've concentrated on learning. कभी कभी यकायक ऐसा हो जाता है समय रुक जाता है ऐसे में कल्पना द्वार खटखटाती है और एक में घटी सब में बढ़ जाती है. And that's what this conference has achieved. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for summarizing the discussions over the 2 days, and what a beautiful change of pace you have achieved by that beautiful poetry. I must share that it's a delight to listen to you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now to invite our esteemed chief guest. It's time now to hear from him. Please put your hands together as I invite our esteemed chief guest, Sri G.S. Rawat, to kindly deliver the valedictory address. Please welcome with an applause.
Good evening, esteemed dignitaries and the organizers of this event. First of all, thank you very much for inviting NABARD for this event. And it's a real privilege to be a part of this valedictory session. And also, congratulations to the organizers for organizing this event, which is of such importance, financial inclusion, such importance for the country as a whole, because all of us know that we have a broader vision, bigger vision of a Viksit Bharat by 2047. And in that, financial inclusion is going to play a major role, because government's imperative is not just developed status, but also inclusive and participatory growth. So that is where I think this session and this summit holds importance. I'm sure during the course of these 2 days, a lot of insights were there. There were a lot of policy recommendations, a lot of suggestions, and would like to have a backup on that to see that how these suggestions are actually implemented at the ground level and actually they make an impact and make our growth story really inclusive and participative. So thank you very much for organizing such an important event, and congratulations to all of you. All of us know that a lot of work has already been done under financial inclusion in our country. And our regulators, the government, DFIs, and different institutions, private sector, financial institutions, everybody has played a key role in that. And outcome of our collective efforts are clearly visible in the progress and the achievement at the ground level. The scale of progress is evident. As we all know, the number of accounts that we have opened under PMJDY, the UPI transaction that we have reached, and in normal course, all of us know that it would have taken us a long time. But due to technology, due to the digital public infrastructure, I think we have been able to achieve it at a much faster pace. The momentum is also reflected by the Financial Inclusion Index of RBI, wherein now we are at 67 in March 25 as compared to 53.9 in March 21. So a quantum jump in a period of last 4-5 years. So that is also a measure of the collective efforts that has taken place in the entire financial inclusion system. But the big question actually is whether we really count this financial inclusion in terms of numbers, in terms of accounts opened, in terms of loan or credit given, whether it is a true measure of really inclusive growth and financial well-being. So if I really ask, providing a KCC loan to a farmer, whether that is sufficient, or a farmer, despite losing a season of crop or a damaged crop for one season, despite this financial distress, he is able to withstand that distress, take up the next crop, and also meet his financial requirements of the day-to-day requirements. Secondly, we all salaried class people, we know, we talk about an emergency fund. So of your salary, you should have at least 5-6 months of salary as an emergency fund to meet your requirements in case of any job loss or anything. But what about a rural community member or a farming community member where he doesn't have a assured income? The income is twice in a year, and that is also not stable. You don't know whether the crop will actually happen, whether the market will give the right price or not. So these are some of the challenges which we really have to think, which we really have to grapple upon and see whatever we are doing in financial inclusion, whether it is actually leading to real financial well-being and financial independence or not. So I think that is the key challenge. So we all know a lot of challenges are there, and there are constraints in the past of financial inclusion in rural India. Issues like last mile connectivity, digital divide, data privacy, financial literacy, infrastructure, both physical and as well as banking infrastructure, and high cost of delivery. So these are some of the challenges which we are facing and which we have to collectively address. In this context, I think the recent launch of RBI, the National Financial Inclusion Strategy 2, raised by RBI, I think it provides a renewed, forward-looking vision for inclusive finance, moving beyond access to focus on meaningful usage, quality of services, and consumer production. It rightly also emphasizes on the last mile delivery, digital inclusion, gender responsiveness, and integration of climate and livelihood perspectives. So broadly speaking, if we speak about the National Strategy for Financial Inclusion for the next 5 years, the strategy lays down 5 important strategic objectives called Panch Jyoti towards improving the financial inclusion, and there are 47 definitive action points with definite timeline and also agencies who are responsible for it. So there are few action points for us also, and I think events like this, which throws different ideas, different innovative ideas, will help us in actually meeting those objectives and ensuring the real sense of financial inclusion and financial well-being. So if I can highlight those 5 points, so equitable, responsible, suitable, and affordable bouquet of financial services is one major aspect which this national study includes. So they are talking about a lot of innovations like programmability of CBDC, ULI platform, creating a platform so as a shared entities. So these are different initiatives that are highlighted in that strategy. The second is the differentiated approach for gender, underserved, and vulnerable groups. I think this issue has also come up during the discussion. Madam was mentioning about that. So the key areas would be how do you identify such groups and such geographies and develop a suitable differentiated product and simplify the process and procedures for them. So I think this is one very key area that has come out clearly in the strategy. Third, very important aspect is the livelihood and skilling and its linkage with the financial inclusion. I think that is also one very important thing because unless the earnings are there, unless the income is there by virtue of livelihood, financial inclusion will not be sustainable. So I think this imperative is also very important. And the other two are financial education for financial discipline and also quality and reliability of customer protection and grievance redressal. This is also an important aspect in terms of quality of financial inclusion that we are talking about. So from NABARD's perspective, uh, we'll be playing a major role in reaching out to these objectives. There will be a greater role for us. And we are looking forward to different stakeholders, different partners to implement these strategies at the ground level. Our focus will be to work in collaboration with various stakeholders, uh, ecosystem development, strengthening the rural financial institutions for the last mile delivery. I think there was one mention about whether the digitization is weakening the human connect. So that is why we are focusing on strengthening the rural financial institutions, the grassroots level organizations, so that while the technology is there, there is also a presence of human presence is also there, so that this gap which you are mentioning and which has come out in this discussion also is not felt. Uh, we are strengthening the rural financial institutions for the last mile delivery by support in technology adoption, innovations, common and shared services for them. I mentioned about shared services entity for the cooperative sector, the Sahkar Sarthi Private Limited, where we are providing a technology platform where the banks don't have to invest. They will just plug and play, and the entire technological solutions will be provided through this shared services limited. Then there are issues related to the credit facilities, improvement in HR, governance, and system and processes. That is what we are looking for the rural financial institutions. At the same time, we are also looking at strong community-based organization at the grassroots level, like FPOs and the PACs, and leverage for skill and livelihood. So we want to leverage these grassroots level organizations so that the livelihood opportunities with adequate skills are provided to them so that the livelihood and regional imbalances in credit is addressed. Looking ahead, I think it's very clear the RBI's strategic document also mentions that the next phase of financial inclusion journey will be shaped by collaboration and innovations. The way forward lies in fostering collaboration, a model that has already demonstrated its effectiveness within the Indian financial ecosystem. Uh, we know the GEM Trinity, the UPI, the DigiLockers, and now going forward the account aggregators framework, the ULI, and the OSAN framework, how they are going to revolutionize the credit by transforming the entire value chain. All these initiatives will reduce the operational cost and provide improved data analytics for risk assessment, particularly for small individuals, especially in the rural area. These collaborative efforts are crucial in breaking down the barriers to financial inclusion and ensuring the benefits of a digital economy reach all sectors of the society. Moreover, fintech companies, banks, private sector, policymakers will continue to innovate by developing user-friendly solutions that addresses the diverse needs. Strengthening digital literacy campaigns, expanding the business correspondence network, and promoting public-private partnership will be a key to achieving broader financial inclusion. As I said earlier, this livelihood and appropriate skill set and its linkage to financial inclusion will be another key area because only income and earnings will ensure sustainable financial inclusion. As we conclude this Global Inclusive Finance Summit, the path ahead is very clear for all of us. The agenda of inclusion demands depth, resilience, and impact. With the collective resolve of all the stakeholders present here, I'm sure that we can translate this vision to outcomes that touch every household. Thank you. Best wishes to the organizers, best wishes to all the stakeholders who are present here. And I'm sure the learnings from this summit will definitely help us in meeting our financial inclusion agenda. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your gracious presence here today. Your presence is a source of encouragement to us all here at the summit, and we give heartfelt thanks to NABARD for this very strategic partnership and your unstinted support through all these years. It's time to request Ms. Smita Premchandar back to the podium again because she would like to share some thoughts with us.
Just one small but very important thing that I want to say. Access usually puts a team around for summarizing all the sessions. And the people who were working with me, I hope you are in the hall. Can you stand up? That's Irshan, Chaitanya, and Shivansh. And please, can we give them an applause? Yeah, thank you for your excellent work. Over to you, Sudeep.
Thank you and congratulations to the entire team. Great work. May I now request Mr. Vipin Sharma, CEO Access, to please join us on stage and kindly present our esteemed chief guest with a memento as a token of our appreciation and thanks. Sir, we are indeed indebted with gratitude with your presence here today. Thank you so much. May this bond strengthen from year to year. Thank you, Mr. Sharma, for doing us the honors. May I now invite Mr. Sudipto Saha, Head Financial Inclusion Access, to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, we come to the end of the 22nd Global Inclusive Finance Summit 2025. So while Smita has summarized the discussions very well, we'll surely try to take it forward in terms of whatever has been discussed, whatever was deliberated during the 2 days, so that we can take the financial inclusion sector forward. At Access, we are particularly overwhelmed with the response and participation from all quarters, sponsors for summit, supporting the summit, technical partnerships, companies wanted to put up stalls in the knowledge fair, and delegates from a diverse set of organizations for participation. At the end of the 2 days, it's most appropriate to thank a host of stakeholders who helped to bring the summit together. We are very much thankful to the Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, Government of India for supporting and being a co-host for the summit for 3 years in a row. And obviously, the Secretary DFS coming in for the introductory inaugural panel and providing the keynote address was the highlight of the summit. And we'd like to deeply appreciate the support of the principal partners, Gates Foundation, which has been supporting the summit for the last almost 10 years. Thanks to Pawan, Prabir, and Pradeep, who have been greatly involved with the summit secretariat, not only developing the session plan, but also finalizing on the speakers and the kind of speakers who will be speaking in each of the sessions. SIDBI and IDFC First Bank, the other two principal partners, the co-sponsors, MasterCard, Muthoot Microfinance, NABARD, SBI, along with HSBC, co-sponsors, Annapurna, Equifax, Black Soil, Satin, Satya, Swatantra, and Utkarsh Small Finance Bank. And again, we'd like to place on record the support from HSBC, who have been a steadfast partner to the Inclusive Finance India Awards for the last 17 years. And across various categories, we have been providing the Inclusive Finance India Awards. Thanks to the knowledge partners, Rabo Foundation, along with 8 technical partners who helped us working in various themes, 9 associate sponsors, of which many have come for the first time, and some have been supporting for the last 5-7 years. We are also grateful to the speakers who have been coming from across India as well as outside, who spoke across 25 sessions in the last 2 days of the summit for sharing their views and perspectives on various themes and sub-themes. Special thanks to the moderators of all the panels for working hard with all the speakers and the questions for helping us get the good speaking sessions. I would like to mention the work done by our comms partners, Small Town Brandeds, V Avian, PR Agency, and online streaming partner Dreamcast for supporting and backstopping the Summit Secretariat. A special thanks to the authors of the Inclusive Finance India report, N. Srinivasan sir, Girija Srinivasan, Gaurav Gupta, Smita Premchandar, Leora Clapper, Anuradha Ray, and most important of all, Ramesh Arunachalam, who was the editor of the IFI report. So we hope that the summit has been a useful platform for learning, sharing, and networking. And thank you for attending the summit annually. Your participation and engagement actually keeps us motivating to do it year on year. Thanks to Mandeep for her charming facilitation. Thanks to NUMEC team members for their hard work in organizing such a big event, and also to Hotel Ashok and the management. I would also like to appreciate the hard work and efforts of the comms team led by Tanya, Ravi, Yukti, and Sonali. Accounts and admin team led by Subir, Shilpa, Nitin, Ajay, Ramesh, Kapil, Sanjeev. Entire Access team for supporting the summit during the last 2 days by not only being the MCs, point of contact, as well as helping in overall conducting the summit. Thank you to our CEO, Mr. Vipin Sharma, for the technical guidance and the support and the encouragement he has been giving to us and the team to do this summit year on year. Last but not the least, thanks to my team, my 2 hands, Akash Srivastav and Satyan Kumar, for supporting me day in and day out for completing the summit. And also thanks to Sandeep, Mayank, and Rashi for pitching at the last moment and providing the required support. Thank you very much and look forward to see you next year. Once again. Fun?